Jim Campbell is the president of Fish Ovens, which has been in operation since 1874. Jim talks about fish ovens, his 30-plus years at Pizza Expo, and more. This video is sponsored by the Pizza Therapy store on Amazon. As an Amazon influencer, I will be compensated if you purchase through my links. All links are below. Here's Jim. Albert Grande here. I'm talking to Jim Campbell of Fish Ovens, all the way in Chicago, Illinois. Jim, how's it going today?
We're having a fantastic day. It's actually over 50 degrees here, which it hasn't been in quite some considerable time. So everybody's in a very, very good mood.
It's t-shirt weather in the Windy City, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
Everybody's on shorts and flip-flops. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, Jim, I know you're part of Fish Ovens, and we spoke earlier. You have been going to Pizza Expo for many years,
Yeah,
correct?
I was trying to remember a few years back, they were handing out, probably about 10 years ago, they were handing out 25-year flags. And they came around to our booth, and, it's kind of one of those things, time flies when you're having fun, right? And you don't
Yeah.
even realize it's passing. And yeah, we've been going to Pizza Expo for years and years and years.
And what do you do at Pizza Expo? Obviously, you're an oven company, so what's your part of Pizza Expo?
Well, the primary thing that we did up until about 4 or 5 years ago was we, like many other companies, had our oven exhibited at the booth, and we would try to educate people on what it is that we did that was a little bit different than what maybe they were accustomed to seeing with other equipment. And about, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, Pete Lachapelle had been bugging me and saying, Jim, you really ought to have an oven over on the cook line. And I was like, well, I don't know. And, then we got to bring two ovens, and, the freight is crazy, and da 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 da. Finally, I think it was about 4 years ago, we bit the bullet and decided to put a unit on the cook line.
Okay.
And as is typical of Pete, he was much more wise than I. And it was fantastic having an opportunity to be there. And what you don't get to see on the exhibit floor is what happens in that competition area with the people and the creativity and the passion that you see in the contestants. It was a real eye-opening experience for me. You talk to people on the show floor, and they're going around and collecting literature and sampling food and stuff. When you get over into the pizza challenge area, that's where the rubber really meets the road.
That's
And
right.
yeah,
That's
these
right.
people and there isn't any other way to describe it other than passion. People that have been doing this, some people just starting out, some people have been doing it for 30 years. Over there is where you really get to see what's going on in the cutting edge of the industry.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Pizza Expo is the largest uh, pizza exhibition in the world.
Hmm.
And really thousands upon thousands of pizza owners and people, other pizza manufacturer equipment and other support systems all converge on Las Vegas for this 3 to 4 day event. And so you've been right in the thick of it. What has any, you have any little anecdote or a funny story about anything that's happened there on the line in the backstory of Pizza Expo?
Yeah, well, it was really kind of funny. And again, mentioning going back to Pete, trying to convince me to put an oven in the show. And I was like, we're just a little bitty old oven company. What are we going to do, right? And so the very first year that we were there, the fellow from Upper Crust Pizza, Nicolas Banker, won Pizza Maker of the Year, baking their product on our oven.
There you
And
go.
that was it. We were we were bit, from that standpoint. And it was so interesting. People would come up to us, come up to me we were over on the cook line and say, gee, is it possible that I could bake in your oven? And I'm like, oh my God, please do.
Oh, wow.
That's why we're here. And it was kind of interesting because I think because our oven is so much different than most of the units that you see on the line, everybody was like a little cautious about, how it was supposed to work. And of course, when you're in competition, that's not when you want to try out a new bat.
Yep.
you know.
Sure.
So a part of it was at least just an education process, um, trying to explain to people, what our unit did and how it was a little bit different, and that whole process. So it really became not only an opportunity for us to participate in the pizza challenge, but it gave people an opportunity to actually, touch it, feel it, use it, that you can't get to do in the exhibit booth. It's just essentially an oven with the trays going around. It's kind of hard to get the feel for it. So that worked out.
Sure.
That's worked out very well for
Oh,
us. We've
that's
been
fantastic.
very pleased.
Well, let's dive deep a little bit. Fish ovens are commercial ovens for pizza. So tell me a little bit about them.
Well, the company was originally founded in 18. The first fish oven was built in 1869, but the
Oh,
company wasn't founded as a formal organization until 1874. And I tell people, in spite of my appearance, I was not there at the beginning. But last year was 150 years for us in the industry. So we're like the oldest new kid on the block.
Yeah.
Um, and anyways, it's been a very, very storied history of the company. Ovens are in service literally all over the world. We have units from small ovens that are only 4 bun pan capacity for like test laboratories, all the way up through units that hold 80 pans of product that are used for roasting and baking applications. Again, literally worldwide.
Okay.
And So it's really quite an interesting concept. The original fish ovens went around, the deck went around like a record player, and then at the turn of the century in the 1900s, early 1900s, they started making the mechanical revolving trays, and that's kind of where it's been ever since.
Wow. So, correct me if I'm wrong, though. Fish ovens are more than just for pizza ovens. They're commercial baking ovens that you'd find in restaurants and all over the world, correct?
Yeah, really. And our kind of mantra is that any product that you can bake or roast will turn out as good or better in one of our ovens than almost any other oven that you're going to utilize. I kind of liken it to a cross between a Swiss Army knife and the Rock of Gibraltar. The units, they're designed to last just an incredibly long time. We're still servicing ovens that have been out in the field, continuous operation for over 50 years.
No kidding. Wow.
And so you're absolutely right. They're used in institutions, hospitals, prisons, retail, wholesale bakeries, very, very popular in bagel shops, very popular in pizza operations. And again, pretty much anything that you can do in an oven, you can do in our oven. It's very, very utilitarian.
Wow. And as you said, they've been around, some have been around for 50 years. I guess they're built to last. What sets them apart? Or is there anything that makes them a little different than other
Well, I think,
ovens?
well, yeah, I think one of the things, the old mantra was that, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And, so when we took over the company in 1984, there were drawings in the system that probably hadn't been changed since the early 50s, 60s. And of course, the natural inclination with value engineering and value analysis these days is, how to make it lighter, cheaper, faster.
Yep.
And we kind of resisted that temptation and kept the construction of the oven, which is really the heart and soul of the unit, the same as it had been operating successfully for years and years. It's not the most economical approach, but interestingly enough, when we first took over the company, we had a customer, and because there was some transition involved, lead times stretched out a little bit, and one of the dealers had indicated that a customer was going to cancel their order. And so I called him up and I said to him, I understand your situation, lead times are out there. We're going to cancel your order. And he goes, you're not going to cancel my order. My grandfather had a fish oven. My father had a fish oven. I'm going to have a fish oven. And that's when it really hit me that it really is a multi-generational thing.
Wow.
Standing joke around here is if we sell you an oven and you don't open another shop, or something doesn't catastrophically happen to the unit, we're never going to sell you another one as long as you live.
Wow. Okay. So you're kind of putting yourself out of business then with a lot of
Yeah, exactly.
like for
Yeah.
example, a lot of, like as we've known because of technology, it changes from year to year to year. But fish ovens are, they're kind of the standard, right? They're just hanging right in there.
Yeah, well, and like I said, we're very, very happy. I mean, we have customers that have been with us for a very, very long time, and many of those organizations are the type that do open multiple locations. And whenever they do, then we're blessed to be able to provide them with an oven for their new location.
That sounds fantastic. Wow. I'm hesitant to ask you, but if you don't mind, what are the costs of these ovens? What's
Uh,
the cost range, you know?
Well, on the low end, the units start out like the units that we take to the show are running around 30,000, 35,000. The great big ones, I mean, the huge ovens. I don't know if you and I talked about it or not, but there's a very nationally famous roast beef company here in Chicago, and they have nine of our largest ovens, the 80
Wow.
pan ovens.
Wow.
Each oven holds 230 steamship rounds of beef, and they've got nine of them that they use, and those ovens can run 180, $200,000. But you're talking about all stainless steel and
Sure.
the
Sure.
whole. But
Yeah.
the vast majority of them are in that 30 to fifty thousand
Yeah.
dollar range. Yeah,
That's but it's a great testament to your ovens and the fact that they're built to last. I mean, um that's fantastic. That's great. So also with your ovens, I know that you're a little pizza aficionado yourself. You've got into making you're telling me you sent me an email where you're talking about your dad making pizza out of the box when you were growing up.
yeah, yeah. That's an interesting story. When you sent me the note about your dad and making pizza the other day, um, it really, really took me back. When I was growing up, if you wanted to make pizza at home, it came in a box, and there was two brands, Contadina and Appian Way, and you got a little tiny sack of flour, a little
I
bit of
remember that.
yeast, and a
Yep.
little tiny like Vienna sausage size can of sauce, and then just grated Parmesan cheese. So Friday night or Saturday night, we'd whip the stuff out of the box, and in an hour we'd try to replicate, what you could
Sure.
get at a pizzeria, which was as I noted, sometimes you couldn't tell a difference between the pizza and the box in terms of taste, but nonetheless, it was a very communal event, and
Yeah.
it was something that it was a very really involved a lot of participation. Everybody got to do a little piece of the puzzle, and that was a great start, and I've always been interested in it over the past number of years, like you. I've dabbled at making pizza at home. As a matter of fact, I remember the first crust I ever made. I couldn't get it to stretch; it kept springing back, and finally, out
Yep.
of frustration, I just threw it away.
Yeah.
And then I realized that like they say, you got to let it relax. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. That poor pizza dough is in some landfill somewhere.
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably still
Yeah.
taking on a life of its own.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little, I have Grande's pizza postulate, which I say when making pizza, if anything can go wrong, it will. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
you got that
or
right.
no, actually, all mistakes are
Yeah,
inevitable. All mistakes are,
yeah, very much so, very much so. Well,
yeah.
a few years ago, I bought Tony Gemignani's book, The Pizza Bible,
Yep.
and in the first 50 pages, I learned more than I thought I would ever get to know about pizza, and still refer to that book practically every week, to generate pizza dough that I cook with my grandsons and my daughter and son. And like I said, it's a very communal type of event. Everybody gets to participate.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And Tony's book is just phenomenal. And when I talked to Tony about the book, he said, Albert, I put everything I know about pizza in this book, and it's been out for a few years, but it really is a wonderful reference and a great starting point to make fantastic pizza. I understand that you've also passed it on to the next generation with your grandsons.
Oh yeah, yeah. I started out when they were very, very, very small, and I was very starting to get into this, involved in the process, and it was really great because they were just excited to jump in, and my youngest grandson will, Papa, we need more powder,
Oh
we're just talking
yeah,
about the
right. Of course,
flour,
flour, sure.
and we did the
Sure.
cornmeal with the ball bearings and
Yeah,
stuff, so
yeah,
it would slide
yeah.
into the tray.
Yep.
And yeah, he's actually gotten, matter of fact, this past weekend we had his birthday, and he made a pizza all by himself, and it really turned
Oh,
out great.
that's
So,
fantastic.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's the whole spirit of what pizza therapy is. It's, family, friends, fun. I mean, just making pizza, you make pizza, magic happens in your house. And
yeah.
it's just a wonderful event for everyone involved. That's fantastic.
Well, it's always interesting to me. I mean, guys like Tony and Leo Spizzeri and the late Tom Lehman and all of the people that I've had occasion to meet, all dedicate their passion to helping other people learn how to do what it is that they do. And obviously, none of us mere mortals are ever going to achieve the level of greatness of these people. But the whole industry is comprised of people that are just incredibly giving. I had the opportunity to meet John Arena a couple of years at Pizza Expo, and to talk to him about, I mean, he's like the godfather of pizza,
Yeah.
the chairman emeritus, right? And I said
Yes.
to him, how did you get started? And he go, in the pizza industry. And he goes, I've been practicing making pizza for over 20,000 days. That's like 54 years, and he still considers himself a practitioner of the craft,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I can't say enough about John Arena. Accolades don't even do him justice. He's such a giving person. He gives from the heart. Real, it's just amazing. I talk to so many people who, have reached out to John, and he's right there. He'll help you out. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day here in Hawaii, Matt, who owns a place called Brickfire Tavern, and he contacted John. He said, John, I want to hire you as a consultant. And John wrote back, he said, Matt, I'll tell you, you'd be wasting your money. You know as much as you need to know. And, that's the kind of guy he is. And just a really caring, wonderful guy. I can't say enough about him. Just a great guy. And,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
And I think you really hit a point, which is the pizza industry is unlike any other industry. I mean, it's not like people are competing like a bucket of crabs to get out of the bucket. They're helping each other up. And however they can do that, they will. It's just simply amazing. I think that's what's incredible to me about the whole industry.
Yeah, the last several years, of course, being down on the Cook line, I get to see, how the ultimate championship is going to go. And it strikes me, and again, I think it's somewhat unique to this industry. With Joe Carlucci or Tony Cerimilli won the championships, I think Tony was happier for them than they were.
Right.
I'd
Right.
never seen so many people cheer other people on,
Absolutely.
in the
No.
same game, and it just it's incredible to watch. The chances are you're not going to see the Ford people helping out the GM people, to help them succeed. But in this
No.
industry, it's like a big giant family, and everybody gives back, whatever it is that they have to give, and it's incredible to see.
It certainly is. Well, you'll be heading to Pizza Expo pretty soon, which is going to be a wonderful time. Um, Jim, tell me how can people find out more about fish ovens, where you're located, your website?
Yeah, we're at www.fishoven.com. We're going to be at the Pizza Expo, and again, like I said, we're going to have a one of our baking ovens on the cook line for the International Pizza Championship, and we're going to be at booth 2169, which is right near where the contest is being held. Hopefully, that's more for me, so I can get back and forth between the booth and the cook line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be at the show. We'll have one of our P series units both at the booth and at the and in the cooking area.
Okay.
And we just welcome everybody to have a chance to come by, talk to us. We get the chance to see obviously existing customers, who come by. And, I think one of the things that's really great to see, and I've had an opportunity to experience a few times, where somebody who does not have one of our ovens is baking with something else, which is perfectly fine. They come by the booth and we'll be talking to one of our customers. And our customers actually turn into ambassadors and far better salespersons than we
Yeah.
are. They go, oh my God, you got to get one of these things.
Right.
I used to have a deck oven and I burnt my arms and I had to reach and move and turn the pizza. Now all of that's gone, and so it's really great when we know that a product that we have helped provide to a customer is helping them build their business, because that's really our whole purpose in life, is to build a unit that's going to help them succeed in their business.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jim. Really appreciate you spending time with me. And I'll put all the links below this video so people can contact fish ovens and they'll buy a fish oven and that'll be the last oven they ever get.
Yeah,
So,
right. Yeah,
you
right.
know,
Yeah, I'd love to get a
you know.
chance to sell you the one that you're going
Okay,
to need for your first store, and then
there
hopefully
you
be
go.
with you down the road. So,
Thank you.
Albert, before we go, I want to take an opportunity to thank you for all you do for the pizza industry too. You are
Oh,
a
thanks.
tremendous influencer and really do a tremendous job of promoting not only the industry but the people within the industry. And I want to personally thank you for all you do for everybody.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you, Jim. I'll
All
see you.
right, take
Talk to
care,
you
sir.
soon.
Have a wonderful
Okay.
day. I'm sorry we won't get a chance to see you, but I know you'll be there in spirit.